Well, hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Are you having a nice day? I hope so. But if you are not having such a great day, let's get it together and let's get started with science. Science will make it better. This is Mr. Ruson, and of course, we are here to do another science lesson. So please get your materials ready, okay? If it is a notebook or if you need to open your Google Docs, whatever it is that you need to do science, please get it ready, okay? Before we get into today's lesson, I'm going to ask you a few questions about the last lessons. Do you remember what did we explore last time? You remember? That's right. Maps, right? Specifically physical maps. But we talked about different types of maps, how we can analyze them, that we need to look at the key, and we looked at patterns that we find in maps related to those plates, the plates that are floating on the mantle, right? Tectonic plates, which is really interesting. I can't believe that we are on a layer that is constantly moving. I know a little bit only, but it's moving, and it's broken down into, or broken up into a bunch of pieces that we call tectonic plates. But anyways, we're going to move to something different today. So let's look at our learning target to know exactly what it is that we are supposed to be learning in this lesson. I can explain the difference between rotation and revolution, and I can explain why we have day and night on Earth. Okay? So, difference between rotation and revolution, and also why it is that we have day and night on our planet Earth. So our main goal today is understanding why we have day and night on our planet. And we know that night is when the sun is not out, right? And day is when the sun is out. So somehow this has to be related to the sun, but many people don't understand exactly how it works. And before we get into that, I really want to explore the difference between rotation and revolution, because it is related to why we have day and night, okay? What I would like to do first is I'd like to ask you to please write in your notebooks, or if it's a Google Doc, whatever it is that you keep your science notes, okay? I want to ask you to write what do you know about day and night, okay? Why is it that we have a period that is night and a period that is day on our planet? So what do you already know about that? So write for maybe about 5 minutes everything that you know about the reason that we have day and night on our planet. What causes day and night on our planet, okay? So go ahead and write, and then we're going to share. So do you write a lot? Do you know a lot about why we have day and night? Well, then let's go ahead and share. So let's have maybe 3 or 4 students share what they wrote. Well, I was not able to be there to listen to your responses, but I'm sure you have a lot of things in your brain that you already knew. Books that you have read, things that you have observed, things that you heard from your teachers or from movies. But today, we're going to get to the bottom of it, okay? So, I'm going to ask you to go to this link right here. Rotation versus revolution. What are the differences, okay? So, rotation versus revolution, what are the differences? So, go ahead and click on that, and it is this website, okay? So, open it. I think I'm going to read it with you. So you can open it or you can follow as I read. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. All right. So the difference between rotation and revolution. Many people tend to confuse the two terms, but there is a clear difference between rotation and revolution. While both describe circular movement, motions are quite distinct, quite different, and knowing how to tell them apart can be important, especially in astronomy and physics. For instance, let's take a closer look at rotation and revolution and see what they mean exactly. So in your notebooks, you can write rotation and revolution so that we can then write the definition and we can know the difference between the two. It is important to understand day and night, okay? Rotation, that's the first one, can be defined as the circular motion of an object around its own axis or upon itself. When an object rotates, every point of that shape circles the central axis. So there is always the same distance from any point on the object to the center. So it is not going around something. So rotation is not going around something, okay? Rotation is that same object is rotating on its own axis, okay? That same object is rotating on its own axis. So if you think of the Earth, when the Earth is rotating on its own imaginary axis, okay? That's what we call rotation, not when it's going all around another object, okay? Make sure that you write that down. If we keep going here in the article, it says to better understand the concept, let's take Earth as an example. Earth makes a full rotation around itself from west to east every 24 hours, okay? Every 24 hours. It's important that we understand that. So Earth is rotating on its own axis every 24 hours. Let's go ahead and skip to revolution. So revolution can be defined as the circular movement of an object around an external axis or around another body. For instance, we talk about revolutions when describing Earth's movement around the sun. Okay, those are revolutions. The Earth is moving around another object like the sun. The moon orbits the Earth. That's a revolution. A car doing laps around a racetrack. That's a revolution. So if you go to the end of the article, you will see on one side rotation and on one side you will see revolution. Let me show you. See? So if there's any doubt, you can go ahead and read that on your own and write some more notes about rotation and about revolution. So for our target today, we are going to concentrate on rotation, not revolution. So rotation, the Earth moving on its own axis, okay? The Earth moving on its own, just in the same place right there, okay? Because that's related to day and night. I want us to watch a video. Let me show you the link. It's called Rotation and Revolution Video, okay? Click on that. I want you to watch that video, okay? So I want you to watch that video. And I want you to be able, okay? I want you to be able to explain at the end of that video why it is that we have day and night on our planet as it relates to rotation. So by the end of the video, you should be able to explain why we have day and night, what causes day and night on our planet. Pretty cool, huh? So now, time to share. Please share with your classmates, maybe 3 or 4 of you, 5 maybe, can share what did you learn on this video, why is it, what causes day and night on planet Earth as it relates to rotation. So when we say that the sun rises and sets, is the sun really rising and setting? Okay, so explain a little bit more about that. Is the sun really rising and setting? So what's really moving? From what we learned, what's really moving? That's right. The Earth is the one that is moving. So for example, we have, here we are in, where is Tennessee? Here we are here, right? Right here. So the Earth is rotating. The Earth is rotating, right? The sun is not moving, but when the sun is shining on Tennessee, back here, right? The sun is not shining. But when the Earth keeps rotating, then that part where the sun was not shining, what happens now? Now the sun is shining on that part. But in Tennessee, the sun is not shining. So do the revolutions of the Earth have anything to do? So revolution meaning when the Earth goes around the sun and it takes a whole year. Does that have anything to do with day and night? No, it doesn't. But when the Earth rotates on its own axis, it has everything to do with day and night. And how long does it take for Earth to rotate on its own axis? That's right, 24 hours. 24 hours, which is the length of an Earth day. Earth day, because, well, we'll find out about that in another lesson. So what I want you to do now is I want you to take a few minutes and explain to your partner, or maybe somebody at your house, your mom, your dad, your little sister, your big sister, your brother, whoever is around, okay? And explain this whole business about day and night. Explain what causes day and night on our planet. Explain the whole thing. And if you have to draw it, go ahead and draw it, but explain it well. And if there is nobody around, then talk to your imaginary friend, right? And explain to that person the reason for day and night. What causes day and night on our planet? So, time to share what you know. And we have come to the end of our lesson. Let's check the learning target to make sure that we achieved that. Let's see what the learning target is. I can explain the difference between rotation and revolution. We did that. And I can explain why we have day and night on Earth. And we also did that. So if you cannot explain it well, make sure that you look back to the videos, that you look back at the article that we read, and that you're able to explain it well, okay? Like a teacher, all right? So thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope that you have an awesome rest of the day. Remember that science is everywhere, so please look for it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.